Hey everyone, so this is your girl Yehudi Chagall. Like I said, Yehudi Chagall. Y'all know I'm sensitive about that, especially being a melanated person or queen. We're so used to people mispronouncing our name that we're okay with butchering another sister's name, and I don't think that's right. Just because you don't want to take the time out to learn how to say it properly. So again, I will reiterate myself. My name is Yehudi Chagall. I will not go back and forth with anybody about mispronouncing my name, but I also will not entertain you. And I'm not going to sit around and let you disrespect me, because I feel like if you don't take the time to learn something as simple as my name, then you don't need to know me. Okay, so this is story time number 2. I haven't had a chance to get my thoughts together like I did last time. Last time I did my notes and just broke everything down, but I'm gonna try to do it organic this time, just to see how it comes out. And if I don't like how my thoughts come out, I will just be doing another video. Or on my story time part 3, I'll probably jot down my thoughts. Yeah, but okay. So I wanted to clear some things up as far as the first video. Let me make sure my camera is straight. Y'all, I'm recording with my phone, so work with me. Okay, so I wanted to clear some things up as far as my previous video. I made the mistake of making it seem like I didn't have caring people who cared about me, who weren't blood relatives in Savannah or Georgia when I was here. That's not the case. I had a handful of people who were kind to me, who showed me love, who were there for me, and were who I would consider my friends. When I speak of Leo, what I meant, I shouldn't have said it how I said it. I didn't want to mean as though he was my only friend. He was my friend that I was intimate with. But I did have people in Savannah that loved me, care about me, and were kind to me. So I just wanted to get that out there and clear the air with that. So, moving right along. So we'll start back at the night that I conceived, okay? So I had conceived, and it's kind of cool because I'm in Savannah, Georgia, right? And here, the big holiday is St. Patty's Day. Little do you know, my daughter was conceived on St. Patty's Day. Or St. Patty's night, I should say. But, yeah, so I just thought that's kind of cool. It's kind of fitting for the culture of Savannah, if you know anything about Savannah. So, yeah, so anyways, my daughter was conceived on St. Patrick's Day night. After me and him had been intimate, we had a little moment where we were kind of, I don't know if you would consider quiet towards each other. I don't know if during that time he was spending time with Natalia, or I don't know what was going on, but I felt as though right not too long after that time that he was distancing himself away from me. And a woman's intuition is serious. You can kind of feel, get a vibe, or when you feel like a man that you're intimate with, or a man that you really love and care about, is kind of disconnecting himself away from you. You can kind of sense that. And so that's how I felt. And I was right, because it would be revealed later that he had went further in the relationship with him and Natalia. I don't know specifically when he moved in with her. If you ask him today, he'll say something different. All I know is what he tells me, but it just kept changing. But he did eventually move in with Natalia and her children. So I was depressed at this time, not knowing that a significant amount of the reason that I was so depressed was because my hormones were crazy, because I was pregnant. So like women do, I ended up missing my period, and I wanted to take a first response. I cannot talk today, y'all. I went to take a first response test, and it confirmed what I was already skeptical about, that I was pregnant. I was excited. I don't know if I was excited so much so because I was pregnant by him. I think more so I was just excited at the fact that, oh my gosh, a baby, that's a big thing. So yeah. So I wanted to tell him I'm I'm extra. I do things. I'm very impulsive. I do things probably a little bit more than I need to. So instead of telling him, I'm thinking, what better way to let him know that I am pregnant with our child than to show him the stick. So I ended up meeting up with him, and we ended up meeting, I think we met at some car place, I can't remember where it was. So we ended up meeting, and I showed him the stick. And he's Terrence has never been really the type to broadcast his emotions, like get very over emotionally about something. If he's excited about something, he has a quiet, like a big heart, but it's a quiet heart, if that makes sense. If he's excited about something, he will let you know, but it's just low key, right? So, you know, he was smiling. He seemed like he was happy or whatever. I was kind of upset about how I had to let him know that I was pregnant. I mean, no woman who's in love with a man wants to tell the man who she's pregnant for that she's pregnant at an auto repair shop after he had basically a neutral location from the place that he's staying with his new woman and her children. Nope, that's not the ideal thing. So, but I told him, he knew, you know, he said okay. So he really didn't say too much that day. You know, the basic, how this happened, you know, so we narrowed it down. We both really knew. I guess it's just little casualties, you know. We both really knew how it happened, when it happened. So we didn't talk for a while after that. I had reached out, you know, because I did care for him. I loved him. I reached out to him about, you know, through the progression of my pregnancy. Multiple times he would not answer his phone. He would shut me down. There was times when I showed up to his job to talk to him because I just wanted to talk to him, and I don't know, I was pregnant, emotional. I loved this man. It was unrequited love, you know. I was in love with this man, and I wanted to, I don't know what I wanted. I didn't want to do any harm him or anything. I just wanted him to love me back, you know. And I'm pregnant with your child. But I you know, he never really talked to me much. He would always, you know, when I would call him, he would always tell me that, you know, he'll talk to me when I have the baby. We don't have anything to discuss right now. And it was a very dark 9 months. My family, my father specifically, he was there for me through my pregnancy. I was staying with him at the time. And he witnessed a lot, and I can imagine how hard it was for my father to deal with that, you know, because not that long ago, I think it was 3 years prior, we had lost my mom, and then have to deal with that, and then have to deal with his daughter going through this massive heartbreak, and being pregnant by this man, and just crying, just laying up, crying every single night, crying every single day. I can imagine. It was hard, y'all. That was a very hard pregnancy for me. So there are often times where I would be in and out of the hospital because I would start bleeding, and I think it was just stress and hormones, and the doctor would put me on some fluids and send me on my way. Also, they started me on Wellbutrin, which was apparently, it was a appropriate antidepressant for pregnant women at the time. So I started Wellbutrin. It helped, but more so just made me feel numb. But anything was better than feeling how I felt. And it didn't also help that this Natalia was a very petty older woman who took joy in my pain and would often text me, call me. We would get into multiple fights about this man, about how this man was living with her, taking care of her children, how they were intimate every night, the size of his intimacy, how his intimacy was, sending me long emails about how she wants us to come together. She wanted us to come together for the child. No. It was bad. It was bad, y'all. It was a very hard, difficult pregnancy for me. And this is why, remember Leo, you know, and was such a transitional period for the relationship that me and Leo share, because he came out of nowhere, and I think Leo was like an angel to me at that time, because I was going through it, y'all, and I don't get emotional thinking about it. Dang, man. It was hard. That was a hard 9 months for me, you know, and Leo really helped me. I would get things for the baby. I would want to show my child's father. I would want to show Terrence. He didn't want to hear. He would block me, ignore me. It was just bad. So Leo would come with me to pick things up and pick things out for her, clothes, and, you know, I didn't have a crib at the time. I had one of those side sleepers that you put on your bed, on the side of your bed. And then, so when I was, you know, when you breastfeed, all you gotta do is just roll over, pop it in the baby mouth, you know, and roll back over and go to sleep. So, but, you know, things like that. He helped me get things, and he just humored me. You know, I was nesting. I wanted to show everything I got, my ideas, everything, and he was just there every step of the way. And that's why I say he was really a blessing to me in that time, as far as me being pregnant. I guess giving that male energy that I needed, that I wasn't getting from Terrence at the time. So that's pretty much how that happened. I can't really, the actual pregnancy details won't be as long as the actual pregnancy details will not be as long as the details for part 1, because I was going through the same emotions for so long. You know, this hurt, this pain, this regret. There was the, you know, I don't think I was suicidal or anything. I never thought about that, but it was just a lot going on. I was dealing with a lot, y'all. I remember one time, there was a couple times that I did go to the hospital, and I don't want to say that he never tried to make hospital visits with me. He did. I believe that his mother and his female family members would encourage him, you know, that's your child too. You need to go to the doctor with her and make sure that she's okay, make sure that the child's okay, things like that. But, you know, at the time, I was so angry with him. I had such hatred and rage for this man because of where he was and what he was doing and the audacity, right? So I would go to doctor's appointments, you know, and then he would obviously find out about when my doctor's appointment was, probably because, you know, I was so emotional. One minute I'll tell him when the doctor's appointment is, and I'll tell him not to come. You know, it's just me on top of being pregnant. I'm already an emotional person, and then put a baby in me at that. That's a doozy, you know. So it was a lot. So anyways, I would tell him, don't worry about coming to the hospital appointments. Don't worry about that. You stay where you are. And I guess he knew who my OB/GYN was. He knew where I was going when it was. And he would meet me up there anyway. And we'd have our emotional rifts and moments and everything like that. I don't know what was going on through his mind at the time of what happened. You know, I don't know what feelings he was feeling. I can't judge him. I can't judge his actions. All I can do is tell my side of the story, tell what I experienced as far as my pregnancy and my relationship with Terrence. That's all I can do. I don't want anybody thinking I'm bashing him or putting him down. I'm pretty sure he has his own story. There's always three sides to a story. There's the truth, your truth, their truth. 3 sides to the story. So this is my side of the story. And I would like to think the truth, but people might care to, you know, differ. But it's okay. So this is just how I felt in the moment that everything was happening, you know. So it was hard for me. I remember there was a time, and I was big and pregnant. I'm already chunky, but when I was pregnant, ooh, I was huge. Like I was so depressed. I didn't want a baby shower. I remember his family had reached out to me and said, look, kid, do you want a baby shower? We can give you a baby shower. I just wanted to be over. I didn't resent my daughter. I just wanted the baby out of me. I just wanted everything to be over. These heightened emotions, this depression, these feelings, this despair. I wanted all of it to be done. I wanted all of it to be over, you know. So I didn't have a baby shower. There was a time when he had came to my father's house, and I remember that, and I guess because he hadn't seen me consistently since I had been pregnant, but by this time I had nested. I had my room set up for my daughter, all her things that she would need. I had all her little 0 to 3 month items, onesies, things like that. I had all that together. There was a time he had pulled up to the house, and I guess he hadn't seen me in a while, so he didn't realize how big I actually was. I was maybe 9 months at the time, and he pulled up and he wanted to talk to me. No, I had asked him to come, and we walked around, you know, we walked around the neighborhood, because I lived in like a little cul-de-sac, and we talked, you know, about things, and mostly me just talking and telling him how I felt about the situation, my disdain for Natalia and everything. Same chat that we'd had previously, same chats we had previously, you know. Basically, I don't remember specifically the things that he said, but I just remember that, you know, he just disagreed with whatever I said. He was happy in his current relationship, and he always stressed the fact that he did want to be there for his daughter. He wanted to be there for his child. He will always say that. I will give him that. He always said that he did want to be present in her life and everything, and he wanted us to come together. And man, co-parenting, I don't care. I don't know. I'm just speaking. This is my own personal. This is coming from me, my own personal experience, my own personal thoughts. Something. I just don't feel like co-parenting is natural. I don't feel like that's a natural thing. I feel like that's a new thing. I'm not talking about everybody's situation. I'm talking about my situation. Okay. Can you imagine how it feels for you to be carrying a man's child, and you love this man, what? You love this man so much, and you're carrying this child, and this man, he's with another woman after the fact, after y'all had been together. He's with another woman, her family, her children that aren't even biologically his. He's with this woman. And, you know, all he's talking about is the benefits of co-parenting, how co-parenting, how we can be a team, co-parenting can make it work. That hurt. That was very painful, very hurtful. You know, and I was already pregnant, so I was emotional, y'all. I was extra emotional. So I remember it ending with me crying, of course, you know, because I do. Waterwork, I do cry a lot. Not as much as I used to, but I'm very in touch with my emotions. But it ended up with me crying, and I hope y'all can hear me. It ended with me crying, and basically him getting in his car, and just basically me just trying to tell him, just don't pull off. And then my dad opening the door because he saw me outside acting a fool, telling me to come to the house, let him go, come to the house, and then him speeding off. So that was one of the major events that we had when I was pregnant. And then at the time I was delivering pizza for Papa John's, and I think that's another reason why my delivery went so fast, because they say the more you walk when you're pregnant, the more it helps to bring on the contractions for when you have the baby. I did a lot of walking because I worked up until the night that I had my daughter. So I was delivering pizzas, so walking everywhere. And I got some good tips too. People love a pregnant woman. You're like a mascot. You're like a walking mascot. People just love you. They're gonna tip a pregnant woman. I got some good tips. So the night that my water broke, I was on the phone. I don't know what had happened, and me and Natalia were fighting on the phone. But apparently, you know, we've been fighting, and I got so worked up and so emotional that I went to sleep, and I woke up and, you know, the bed was wet. I automatically knew. I had rented my books from the library about what to expect and, you know, things like that about contractions. So I already knew that my water broke and I was going into labor. So I let my dad know. Me and my dad dropped us to the hospital, and went in there. And so then, of course, I think he called he called Terrence. I think he called Terrence. Terrence came up there, and he popped up, and so he was there with me when I went into labor. The labor was very, very fast, very fast. I wasn't. I think, you know, you have to. I think at the time you have to stay for like three nights. 3 nights. I think it was 3 days. 3 nights, 3 days. So I stayed the full 3 days. It was a vaginal birth. It went very fast, very smooth, and I think, like I said, I contribute that up to the fact that I had done so much walking. Like, for my job, I was walking everywhere. So I wasn't in labor long. I had my daughter, and I guess I'll end it where she was in the room with me because I didn't want to breastfeed, and I wanted her to be strictly breastfed. I didn't want her to get the big thing, you know, is nipple confusion, and I didn't want her to get that. So I made sure that she stayed in the room with me. He didn't. I wanted him to stay, but he did not stay. I guess he could not stay. He stayed for a while, but he didn't stay overnight with me there. He stayed for a little while, and I think he came back. I don't think he came the second day, but he came the day that I was supposed to leave, to drop me and my daughter back off at my dad's house. So even though I didn't want him to stay, but I know he wasn't going to stay, I don't think, you know, I'm just going to say this. I'm going to also continue with part 3 as far as, you know, the actual, you know, you will see Khadijah reappear because there was a lot going on with that as well. And let me see. We'll talk about being a single mom, co-parenting attempts. I don't know if I'll tell y'all everything because I don't really know who watches my channel. I don't know. I might. It depends on how I'm feeling. But there was a lot of stuff that went on, a lot of juicy stuff that went on when I was a single mom. And the plot thickens. So I'll get more into that later. But like I said, I just want to talk about my pregnancy, the delivery, tell y'all exactly what happened. And I'm going to end my video there. I appreciate y'all coming to spend time with me. I'm trying to make sure I told y'all everything. I think that's mostly it. Yeah. If I can remember anything else, y'all, if I can think of anything else, I'll come back and I'll tell y'all in part 3 and let y'all know, you know, I'll add on to that. But I can't really think of anything else that I might have missed out on. So, all right, y'all. I hope y'all have a blessed evening. Be safe out there. Always remember to always prioritize those who prioritize you. Thank you for coming to spend time with Yehudi Chagall. I love y'all. Be safe. Have a blessed night.